Hey guys, I want to make a video here of my Goji Berry patch. This year I've actually gotten some berries, which I've been very happy with. First time in my life I've been able to have fresh Gojis, not dried ones shipped over from China. I actually started my Goji berries from a packet of dried Goji berries that I got from a health food store. Cut the berries up and put them in little potting soil and sprouted them up by a window, and then transplanted them into pots and everything. And I lost a few of them, which is hard to do because it's such a rugged plant. But they do not like containers, has been my experience. It has a taproot system that it wants to be in the ground as soon as possible for maximum growth. If the taproot hits the bottom of the container, the plant stops growing. So get them in the ground as soon as you can. They have been trying to grow goji berries commercially here in the US, but without much success. It's very easy to grow the plant, but it's something else to get the plant loaded with berries. And apparently the American farmers are doing it wrong. Probably because, from what I've seen of pictures on the internet, they're trying to grow it like they grow farm or corn instead of how the Chinese grow it. But it's an easy plant to grow. This is literally was a 3-stem plant when I planted it in here last spring. And in 1 year, as you can see, I've had so many volunteers coming up alongside. I must be pushing 10 stems, and I've got some more coming out back there. The same with this one. It was 3 stems or so when I planted this plant, and I've got probably a dozen on that one. They don't like water after they've gotten settled. They'll grow in the desert naturally. There's a very popular YouTube video of David Wolf actually picking goji berries in the Arizona desert that were growing in the wild, and expounding upon how healthy they are. That's, for those who don't know, that's why I'm trying to grow these. They are the most nutritious berries in the world. They're 12% protein, more than any other berry. They taste fairly good, kind of like a cherry. They are loaded with antioxidants and all kinds of good things for you. David Wolf's videos are something you can reference in that regard to learn the specifics. But these berries sell for $10 a pound. So if I can grow them myself, the goal is to literally be able to come out here every day and grab a little handful of the goji berries as kind of a multivitamin. And we'll see how that goes. As you can see, I've got a lot of plants here, a lot of leaves, but not a whole lot of berries. And I believe I'm having the same issue that the American farmer was, because I over-fertilized this, I overwatered it, because I was stupid enough to plant flowers at the base, which I've let die. But I was having to water it every couple of days, trying to keep those flowers alive. And then I read that gojis do not like to be watered when they're putting their berries out. So I stopped that. And I've heard like the 4th year or whatever is when the berries are supposed to be their top. And like I said, these guys are kind of retarded because I kept them in containers so long. So we'll see what they do next year. That I'm not going to water or fertilize them anymore. These are supposed to be quite easy to propagate. You can snip off like a 12-inch, 18-inch tip of a limb. Maybe put some rooting hormone on it, stick it in the ground, and it's supposed to grow. I'm going to give that a shot. I'm going to need a fairly large patch to be able to get all the berries that I want if I want to grab a handful every day. This also sounds like gross wastefulness, but I've often thought about if I had enough of them, of feeding them to my chickens. And the nutrients and all these berries, of course, being absorbed into the chickens and back into their eggs, in theory. So I'm gonna check into that. But not much to find about goji berries. They're amazing berry. They're relatively unknown here in the U.S. And I wish I could find more about them. If you guys have any tips, anything I'm doing wrong, anything I could do better to make them put more berries out, to propagate them, I'd appreciate hearing about it. I'll talk to you later.